All right, tonight we're going to focus on one of the coins that we all long to look for, and it is a well known variety, a cherry picker's guide variety. It's also in the Red Book, it's all over the internet. It's one of the sensations that really makes change or coin roll hunting absolutely thrilling. And I would say that this is one of the varieties that gets a lot of the newer collectors in. A lot of thrill seekers and treasure hunters look for this coin, and for the longest time, the 1992 D Close AM Lincoln Cent is one of the top coins that should be on your list, and they're worth a lot of money. So what I wanted to do today is to discuss how much these coins are selling for today, because a few years ago there was only about a dozen, 14 examples that were ever graded by any of the major third-party grading companies, like PCGS and NGC. All right, that number has since about tripled, okay, in a varying degree of various grades. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some grades on a little stat sheet at the end of the video. But first and foremost, it's always important because, I've talked about this coin in the past, and it gets buried under hundreds of various my other videos, but I want to do a little recap on it. What exactly are we looking for in the Close AM set? Also keep in mind that this variety not only exists on the Denver minted coin, but also the Philadelphia version as well. So for you East Coasters, or the folks on the left coast, California, Oregon, Washington, anywhere west of the Mississippi, you could find this coin on the Denver coins as well. So here's a close-up of what exactly we're looking for. Okay, so the rare coin is on the left. As you can see, the letter A in America is just a little bit wider, and the base of the A is touching the M. Okay, as opposed to the regular general coin, you're going to have a nice gap. The A is going to look skinnier. Also, another giveaway, the FG initials on the variety, okay, is going to be set further apart or further away from the base of the stairs. So that's going to be another difference in there. So what exactly is the Close AM / Wide AM variety? Okay, well, the rare Close AM was a design change that was intended for the 1993 issue Lincoln Cents. So there were a few, call it, beta tested coins that were minted with the Close AM reverse that was intended for the 1993 coins that leaked out, and now we have a number of them out in circulation. Okay, so what are we talking about value-wise? Because these things have been, they've been holding steady right where they're at for the last year or two. At the same token, they're not worth nearly as much as they were about 3-4 years ago. And we could talk about saturation on this, okay? And that's what really has led the this coin down the path that it is right now, and it has dropped somewhat in value. But in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the coins that do exist and that have sold within the last 12 to 18 months, they're still worth a lot of money. All right, so here's a little list, a little overview of some of the coins that have sold in the recent past. I'll also talk about another coin that's also not on this list that had sold very recently, and I'm talking within the last 60 days recent. So at the very top, we're going to talk about the record-setting amount that this coin has sold for at auction. All right, the Mid-State 64 red that you see at the top was sold through Heritage Auctions way back in 2012. It seemed like yesterday, but it's eons away. That example sold for $20,700. That is the record-setting, I guess, call it setting the bar for any of the higher grade pieces that exist for this coin. So there have been a number of examples that have sold during that point, but we're going to talk about some of the more recent sales out there. Okay, and they're all, on heritage auctions and great collections. So the first example after that big $20,000 piece is a Mid-State 64 red brown. Okay, that one sold July 13th of 2018 to the tune of $2,280. So you see the price drop. Okay, even though it is a red brown, this guy has come down quite a bit, but it's still worth, in a few $1,000 range for a mid-state, red brown. Okay, so you would figure maybe another 64 red would be worth somewhere in the $3,000 to $4,000 range. As a matter of fact, the most recent mid-state 65 red sold for $4,800. So you see the price change in the last 7 years. So the next example is one that sold on Heritage Auctions November 2nd, 2017. This one is straight out of circulation. It's seen its day for sure. This one is a PCGS AU58. This one sold for $1,920. Okay, so that's what an about uncirculated example would expect to go for in the secondary market. Let's also talk about the next one that sold through Great Collections, December 30th of 2018. Short few days ago. This one was graded PCGS Mid-State 62 red. This one sold for $1,703.25. Okay, that was probably the most recent example there. And then up after that, we have another example that sold through Heritage Auctions February 22nd, 2018. That one was NGC slabbed AU55. That one sold $10 shy of $1,000. And finally, I really wanted to throw in a coin that has had some counting wheel damage. Okay, that's something that happened at the bank while they were rolling their coins. This one was sold through Heritage Auctions April 29th of this past year. This one was a PCGS graded Unk Details, so it is damaged, and this one sold for $552. So even the coins that have damage are worth many hundreds of dollars. And here's how I stress the importance of actually getting these things authenticated, because people want to see that. If you can't take great pictures yourself, like on eBay or, some other auction website or Facebook for that matter, it always helps when you could get a picture of the coin that is encapsulated, in like a PCGS, NGC, or even Annex graded plastic. So that way, it doesn't matter how bad your photos are, people will be able to see the label on that slab and know that it is a tried and true close AM variety. Okay, so here's a difference maker. There was a relatively nice example. I would say it's like a mid-state 62 red brown that sold November 9th on eBay, raw, not graded. That one only brought in $250. Talk about leaving a ton of money on the table. This person could have very well gotten the coin graded. If it did grade out at 62, he or she would have left about $1,000 on the table for that example. So yes, you could sell these coins unattributed. However, if you want the most amount of money for the variety, because it's a well-known variety and one that is, even to this day, extremely sought after, please get it authenticated. Can't stress it enough. So that's going to conclude the 1992D Close AM variety coin. Absolutely marvelous. One that should be on the top of your list of coins that you wish to find, coin roll hunting and pocket change hunting. As always, I'm your host, Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you for joining in on this video. As always, you could always, support my channel. The best way you can is by hitting the like button or subscribing to my channel. Come check me out on Facebook and Instagram as well. Appreciate your guys' time. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the hunt and keep going. Take care.